am back. What it do, baby?
Who would have thought 3 millionaires and a bag of lunch meat would be enough to bring me out of a YouTube hiatus?
I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI have churned out another load of dookie butter, Lunchly, which is really just a Lunchable with Prime and Feastables in it. Lunchly's whole value proposition across all of their promotions is that Lunchly is a healthier alternative to Lunchables. But I don't really give a flying rat's ass about counting calories or electrolytes or that yummy, delicious black mold.
So good and tasty?
I think we might be overlooking the fact that Lunchly is also a shisty advertising campaign designed to brainwash your children into buying an unhealthy, overpriced product being shit peddled by online celebrities. Now, this video isn't legal advice, and I am not accusing anyone of a crime. But in my opinion, Lunchly's ads are unethical.
Baby, here's our baby. Brand new to the world. Here we go.
Lunchly is now in stores.
And they are using methods that have been proven to be exploitative to children in the past. They only seem to be getting away with this by exploiting loopholes created by the internet and social media platforms. And this has sort of got me thinking. Government regulators and advertisers have been battling for decades over the minds of American children. So today, I am doing the history, unfortunately, of American children, child-targeted ads, and how it relates to Lunchly. This is anything but history. Let us start with the mind of a child. It's soft, it's squishy, it's impressionable. You can fit a lot of trauma in this bad boy. Studies have shown that children have a difficult time discerning the difference between entertainment and the persuasive rhetoric of an advertisement. In the United States, over the decades, across various forms of media, child advocacy groups have attempted to force a separation between the advertiser and the entertainer, restricting host selling and program length advertisements, enforcing ad bumpers and labels. But these ad strategies are perfectly ethical when used against the walled fortress of the fully developed adult brain. For example, lots and lots of TikTokers and YouTubers are essentially host selling, using program talent to deliver commercials. But selling products to your majority adult online audience is perfectly fine. Doing it for children is pretty icky, pretty yucky.
That's nasty.
Some of my more observant viewers might be saying, hey, isn't it the parents' responsibility to make sure their kids don't eat moldy crackers from Willy Wonka cosplayers? And you're partially right, but kids are also unable to make full adult decisions. So when they encounter things that are exploitative or detrimental to their well-being, we should do something about it. We have regulations on media. We have regulations on substances. And for decades, there have been attempts to put those same regulations on child-targeted ads. This problem first arose on television. In the 1950s and 60s, children's shows were allowed to receive sponsorships and sell products directly to their underage audiences.
You'll see the captain give me a bowl full of Kellogg's Rice Krispies.
Why, I'd be delighted, Mr. Moose.
And if you listen carefully, you'll hear those nourishing bubbles of toasted rice go snap, crackle, pop.
And child advocacy groups became really concerned that companies were just seeking to exploit their children for profit. So, throughout the 70s, government regulators started to crack down, limiting host selling and program length ads, issuing broadcasting guidelines to increase educational programming, and By the close of the decade, they were even considering content bans against companies that sold sugary foods to kids. While definitely not the most riveting shit in the world, these guidelines did change children's television. Some classic children's television shows like Schoolhouse Rock were a direct result of these new regulations. But all of this went away in 1980.
The educational system, our government, do not have as great an influence on the people of this nation, the young people, as these television networks. And I can tell you they do not care what they put on. All they're trying to do is gather as many viewers in front of the television set to watch their programs, and then they sell these viewers for a few cents per thousand to a bunch of advertisers, and that's all it is.
After Ronald Reagan absolutely shit-canned Jimmy Carter in the 1980 presidential election, television advertising was deregulated. This allowed broadcasters to make decisions based on consumer taste and the free market.
I like money.
And a downright golden age of child advertising ensued. Toys, cereals, junk food, you name it, it was on TV. Even the most iconic cartoons of the decade were little more than program-length advertisements, created by toy companies for the explicit purpose of selling toys.
And the masters of the universe. Transformers, more than meets the eye.
My little pony, my little pony.
Thundercats.
While these shows are fondly remembered today, including by yours truly, it's easy to forget that they had some fucking dastardly advertising schemes. Some of these companies would even give a percentage of toy sales or give away their programming for free in exchange for more advertising hours. So, it's pretty safe to say that child advocacy groups were sort of pissed off. One critic even wrote to the FCC, "May you be like a chandelier, hang by day and burn by night for allowing this to happen to other people's children." Finally, in 1990, Congress stepped in and passed the Children's Television Act. The Children's Television Act regulated child-targeted ads in two major ways: time, limiting the number of broadcasting minutes, and the separation principle. No host selling, no program-length advertisement, and there must be a clear distinction between programming and advertisement. Now, this law is far from perfect. I am not suggesting that. And there have been lots of shows that have tippy-toed the line of the whole separation thing. The Children's Television Act also doesn't regulate content. This has allowed companies to continue to sell sugary, unhealthy foods so long as they remain separate from programming. Take Lunchables, for example. When their nationwide ad campaign started in 1989, despite being absolutely skewered by health advocates, they could still advertise directly to children with really no hiccups whatsoever. There is also little stopping companies like Lunchly from selling to kids on the internet. Unlike television, there are even less restrictions on the internet. A notable exception is COPPA, which makes it illegal to collect data from children under the age of 13 without explicit parental consent. And some of you might be familiar with COPPA because this platform, YouTube, has violated COPPA before. In 2019, the FTC sued YouTube, claiming that they were harvesting data from child-directed channels and using that user data to direct advertisements to kids. So we are on a platform with a shitty track record of selling shit to kids.
My God!
But let's be totally clear. Lunchly is not in violation of either of these laws. But I still think there is something so profoundly unethical about this brand. Content creators like Logan Paul and Mr. Beast despite officially claiming to be for a general audience, have admitted that their audiences are very, very young.
The average demographic is what, 13 through 17? Is that the biggest spike in your analytics?
Well, I mean, mine's horseshit. It says like 18 to 24, but I know all my fucking viewers are little kids.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a lot like that because, you know, little kids lie about their age or they're on their, you know, like...
Well, yeah, and then I have like a fucking massive one for like the 40-year-old range because all the fucking idiots are on their parents' account.
Lunchly is most certainly a child-targeted brand because it literally says so on their fucking website. Actually, upon a second gander at this, I noticed that the word kid only appears in the website description on Google. The word kid doesn't seem to be in the website itself, and who the product is for is actually a little ambiguous. Unlike Lunchables, which actually has a kid's website. I don't know why Lunchly would be so vague. I don't know. It seems kind of strange.
I don't care about the children. I just care about their parents' money. The fact that their feeble minds are easily manipulated by
moldy lunch meat
and talentless clowns is no skin off my nose.
Promotions for Lunchly are also published as shorts or on their live streams. They're not published as regular advertisements. This makes them quite literally indiscernible from other content on the channel. Like, this is textbook host selling. This would not fly for a day on television, but for some reason, we tolerate this on YouTube. Lunchly also seems to know that they are operating in this weird gray area of child advertisements and entertainment. For decades, legacy media helped create visual separations between regular programming and ads with ad bumpers.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Hey, I'm Hilary Duff from Lizzie McGuire, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Even Lunchables includes these teeny tiny labels on their website telling kids, hey, we're about to sell you some shit. That's right. The company that gives kids lead-laced lunch meat actually labels their ads. But Lunchly doesn't. I also don't think it's a coincidence that Lunchly has made no plans to release in the United Kingdom.
And obviously, it's not in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes. But hopefully, in the next few months, guys...
It's a little more complex to make meals than it is just a beverage or a chocolate bar, so we need to slowly ramp it up, which is why, to be honest, it probably will sell out pretty quick. We can't make too many at the start, so...
Government regulators in the UK are attempting to ban all high-fat, high-sugar, and high-salt advertisements targeted towards kids by the end of 2025. Unlike the United States, the government has a broader authority to enforce these rules across multiple forms of media. That includes television, the internet, and even physical advertisements. So Lunchly, are you not going to the UK because of supply issues? Or are you not releasing in the UK because of brand issues? Please don't get me wrong, I am not trying to summon the wrath of government regulation on us all. But with more and more children watching YouTube than watching television, something needs to change before something happens and that decision is made for us. And just because something is legal doesn't mean you should do it. We can't simply stand by and assume that these three guys suddenly have a benevolent passion for lunch meat that no one seemed to know about until now. We have to see Lunchly for what it is, an attempt to exploit children for money. I will try to end this video on a positive note. So, here we go. To the content creators, ads pay your salary. We all get that. But I don't need another athlete selling me liquor or a chef selling me dick trimmers. Promote a product you actually endorse. Do right by your community. Encourage their health and their happiness. please don't see this video as mean-spirited. It is a vulgar invitation to open up dialogue with your viewers and to make a meaningful change. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.